Un mundo de máquinas.
Hola amigos, bienvenidos nuevamente a Un Mundo de Máquinas podcast por Mercado Vial. Hoy estamos en un evento muy especial en Trackmar, el distribuidor oficial de Limbel. Hoy tenemos gente de fábrica acá que vamos a empezar a hablar de la marca y de la historia y de los productos. Hay un dealer meeting, hay gente de Uruguay, hay gente de Chile, de Argentina, de distintos países que se han reunido acá como para empezar a hablar del futuro de la marca en la región. Y hoy estamos con Edward Malloy, que es director de Customer Support para Limbel, para LBX Company, que es la división de excavadoras. Así que, Edward, thank you for your time. Thank you for sitting with us here in our podcast. We have the chance to meet you here in Trackmar, in Argentina, for this dealer meeting and important customers that came here today to know more about the brand, about the products, about the future of the brand. So thank you for your time to sit with us here.
Yeah, well, you're welcome, and thank you for having me. We're really excited to be here, be a part of this Latin American community, and do what we do, which is excavators. We've had a really, really good meeting here with our Latin American dealers. Got to meet some really fine customers, and really just had a lot of opportunities for growth over the last couple of days. So we're really thankful.
Let's talk a little about the brand, the history. You know, we have it here in our magazine, 150 years of history, of course, with grains at the beginning. Then appears Sumitomo, and everything is mixed up. A joint venture at the beginning. Yep. And you have a North American heritage, but the quality coming from Japan. So let's talk about this, just to make a background of what is Limbel and what can expect a new customer from your brand.
So I'll start with the excitement around 150 and what does that mean. We've got the really unique opportunity this year to celebrate 150 years of the Link Belt brand. Mm-hmm. That is 150 years ago, William Dana Ewart invented the Link Belt chain,
of course,
which was a easily repairable chain for farmers in the fields to speed up their processes. And since then, there has been just continual innovation through the Link Belt product lines. We consider it a legacy. We're part of a 150-year legacy that has been built not overnight, but has been built by the hard work, the passion, and the really what we call bleeding Link Belt red of people throughout the years to build this legacy and product line that we have today. We have the honor of working with our parent company Sumitomo out of Japan. They provide us with really the best quality product you can find on the market today. The meetings we had this week, we had people travel from Sumitomo in Japan. For those of you that don't know, that's approximately 30 hours of travel time for them to get here.
God, yeah.
And they stayed here for 2.5 days to listen and hear what our dealers had to say, take those messages back to Japan, which is another 30 hours going back.
That's the commitment.
Yeah, that's the commitment that they make to us.
Mm-hmm. This relationship with Sumitomo started in the late 90s.
They started really with the Link Belt brand in the mid 90s and brought it up through the years. To the point where now they're the provider of Link Belt excavators for us from the Sumitomo factory in Chiba, Japan, as well as the Jakarta, Indonesia factory that is owned by Sumitomo, provide us with some specialty built, purpose-built machines.
Okay. How everything start to coming down to Latin America? You have in Sorocaba in Brazil, that's a support part center. You don't build anything right now there. You don't have a factory, right? Is everything coming from Japan?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So everything comes from Japan. Our Latin American business, as well as our Brazil business, is managed out of our LBX do Brazil office. Mm-hmm. They have really stepped up the game for the Latin American dealers and market. They've put in a lot of resource and effort into developing these areas.
Of course.
With the parts center they have, the people that they've hired to support those customers and those dealers, it really is a game changer. to have them here
of course.
for this region.
Yeah.
In North America, we operate as LBX. In South America, being Brazil, we operate as LBX do Brazil, but all one company.
Yeah,
so
same company.
We're all together, and that's kind of what makes us special. Is we cross a lot of borders, so we're able to help a lot of regions in very specific ways.
Yeah.
Sumitomo realizes that as well, and supports that fully through active programs and ways that we can design our excavators to fit certain markets.
That's the position you have in Latin America, and I remember a couple of Conexpos ago that we started harvesting that that experience that you have in Brazil with the X3 only for Latin American markets. It was a special product for Latin American market. We have special engines, regulations. So, of course, you need to put a step in the region. I think it was a good choice to start in. I think it was 2004, 2005 that you went to Brazil. I don't remember well.
I don't remember exact timeline that we were there.
It's 20 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, but give ballpark, yes.
Yeah.
And we've been growing since. And really our Latin American region started taking off in the 2011 timeframe.
Yeah, 2010 and 2011 it started,
It really started to take off.
I remember that after X2 was what's coming, because you have X3, X4 in Europe, and then Brazil appeared, and this is when we have to build like a product for Latin America. I remember that all the countries over there in Conexpo saying this is a product special for you, and I think you reach a lot of more customers, and you put a strong step in the history of Limbel, starting building products especially for Latin America. And the X3 was the first one, right?
Yeah, the X3E was really the first Latin American specific model, and it had a lot of differences in it because it was still a Tier 3 compliant engine with all of the technology of the machines that had the Tier 4 engines in them. So it had a lot of the benefits associated to it, as well as some heavier duty componentry because of the markets they serve down here in Latin America.
Of course.
It's very different, diverse markets. So that machine was built for those markets. And now you're talking about X4. We're looking at a Tier 4 market in Chile.
Maybe Colombia.
Colombia is not too far behind that. And I'm sure that there will be more countries that have to start taking that. The fortunate part of that is in North America, we've had the Tier 4 compliant engine now since 2013. We've had a Tier 4 version. So we've had time to work through some of the little glitches that appear, and we're going to be providing a top quality Tier 4 product to the Chilean market in August.
In August, we'll be there.
So awesome! That's I'll be there as well for that launch. We're really excited about bringing it to the area. It's a superb machine. Fuel efficiency is better than any on the market. There's some high expectations. I'm confident we can meet them.
It's the first X4, right, in the region, right?
In that region, in any of the Latin American region. So there have been, now I will say there have been some people that bought machines at auction, and they've taken them down, and they've seemed to be performing
off the radar.
Off the radar, but they seem to be performing pretty well. But this is excitement for us because it gives a new environment to test our machine, but it also gives customers a new, fresher, higher technology-ridden machine. There's a lot of updates in those machines that the X3E doesn't necessarily have that they're going to get the benefit of in the X4.
Of course. Before going into the X4, refresh me with the lineup we have in X3E, which is the product that we are having here in Uruguay, in Argentina, and we have the smallest is 130, and then the biggest
is a 360.
360, right?
X3E, yep. and there's many in between, as well as a minimum swing radius machine in a 145 X3E, which is a smaller tail swing machine. The X4 will have a much broader lineup.
That's why I was asking you about because we have like 150, 180, 210.
On the X4s, you're gonna see a 130, 160, 210, 250, 300, 350. Go as big as actually a 750.
Which I think we saw in Conexpo, right?
Yes, yeah. We had a 750 and a 490, I think, in Conexpo. One of the two of those may have been set up with a shear.
Remember. So it was huge.
Yeah, and then we're constantly trying to develop the machines our markets need. We in North America, we're also launching the X4S currently.
Yeah, I know.
Which is a slightly different. So eventually, this market may see the X4S
in the future
replacing the X4. Still a Tier 4 platform machine, but again with some changes, some upgrades and updates.
Technology inside.
Yeah, technology's where it's at now.
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I was about to ask you about just a little about the future of Linkbell. We saw electric excavator in Conexpo, a prototype. Where are you going with this electrification? And this is just something that is in the beginnings, or what are you thinking for the future in that regard? Good question.
That's a very good question.
Because we have some brands with hydrogen, electric, both electric and hydrogen.
I think as a construction community, we're at an impasse of, can we make electric work?
Yeah.
Can we make hydrogen work? Is it sustainable? We know diesel works.
Yeah.
So how can we make these other things work as good? That's the challenge we have in the technology world right now of fuel sources. I think at some point in time we're going to have to find some alternative.
Yeah, of course.
And I know that Sumitomo as well as LBX are devoting resources to looking into those alternatives. What they're going to look like in the future, well, who knows? What we do know is whatever's done by Sumitomo and LBX will be done in a manner in which we can provide the same quality machine. From a technology standpoint, just overall technology, we actually created a department inside of LBX to focus only on technology, future technologies, and going beyond just the machine. But what are some of the technologies we can use to support dealers, in selling and supporting machines? What are some of the technologies we can use to support customers the same way? We're so excited about bringing the X4, to the Latin American market. We have an advantage over many of the X4 providers in the fact that machine does not have a diesel particulate filter in it. It achieves Tier 4 standard through fuel management and DEF injection, AdBlue injection.
AdBlue. I was about to ask you about a little more about the technology or what the customer has to expect regarding maintenance and.
With proper maintenance, the machine should operate without any reasonable problem.
Yeah.
The issues become when AdBlue is not handled correctly or it gets old, the diesel fuel is dirty.
The diesel sometimes we don't have yet a good quality of diesel here.
Well, and that's why the filters are so important.
Yeah.
When you're servicing a machine, the filter is the first line of defense on the fuel system for all the Tier 4. The fuel systems are very intolerant of contaminant.
Yeah.
So that fuel filter is very important, and it's always recommended to make sure you have a fuel filter that meets or exceeds the manufacturer's guideline for the fuel filter, not just the cheapest one on the market.
Of course.
So that's going to be the first line of defense on those.
So it's very important to make the customer clear that they have to focus on that first barrier. The first challenge is the fuel filters, right? And then the AdBlue, well, is another thing that is new for the customer. You know?
Yeah.
Well, they have it. They already have in trucks and
road trucks.
Yeah, but it's not that new. But in heavy equipment, in yellow equipment, is kind of new for them. So it's going to be a challenge there.
It is going to be a challenge. It's an educational process. It's educating the customer, to what the key points of ownership of these machines are. It's like a marriage. You treat it well, it'll last a long time. You don't treat it so well, you're probably going to get a divorce.
Of course.
But
it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's very much the same thing. It takes maintenance, it takes attention, but again, from a productivity standpoint, I will challenge anybody that it is the best on the market.
Can you mention a couple of other things besides the engine in changing technology with the X4? What can we expect with the different cabin or different things?
So really, the benefits to the X4, it's actually a more fuel-efficient engine. And it's actually still the same class of engine, just with the Tier 4 standard versus the Tier 3. The hydraulic system is built on an oversized control valve to allow for cooler operation. You get a little more manageability, a little more function out of the hydraulic system.
Of course.
A little better touch, I'd call. The travel is smoother on the X4. And just overall, the seat was changed just a little bit to give some more comfort. So there's
the screen and buttons.
All of that is pretty much the same. So it's going to be an easy transition to understand.
Yeah.
That part.
I want to close the podcast with, just a little word about the pink link belt with the cancer organizations and human. Over the years, you are working over there, so it shows the commitment that the brand has with not only the customer, not only to have good products, but also with with the commitment with the society and with with these kind of diseases and the problems that they cause, right? So I have the chance to congratulate you with that.
We are very proud of that program and intend to continue that program. One of our core values, one of the things that we assigned to ourselves at Link Belt was we had to ask ourselves, why do we exist? And the simple answer to that is to build stronger communities. And how do we do that? Well, we do that with our excavators. We do that with our people. We do that with our support of the communities. So, and Pink Belt is a prime example of our support to the communities. So, we're real proud of that program.
Not many other brands do it, so it's nice that.
Well, and this last one was really special because the auction price at ConExpo.
Of course. Let's say that it's not only a pink excavator. It's a pink excavator with an auction, and the money raised after that is.
It all goes to
this
breast cancer research and programs within our community that support breast cancer victims or breast cancer research. And it's normally a customer that ends up buying the machine, and it's normally the customer's wife that tells them to buy the machine. So
it's a win-win.
It is a win-win. Absolutely it is.
So, okay, thank you for your time. I hope see you. What are the first couple of machines? I mean, 210 in Expo?
You'll see a 210 in August, yes.
Yeah.
That'll be the first machine introduced, and it'll be a relatively slow introduction because there's still Tier 3 machines to work through.
Yeah.
So it'll be a relatively slow introduction, but that's good because that'll give time to get it in the market, get some experience around it.
Yeah, of course. So, well, all the luck with the new transition, and I hope we have the X4 faster here in Argentina too. So, well, thank you for your time, and congratulations of the X4.
Yes, thank you very much. We felt like we had to come to Argentina this time just to celebrate with everybody for the World Cup win.
To have some,
And our CEO is French, so that was very hard for him.
Don't mention it. So.
I know, it's very hard for him.
Oh my God. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here.